Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening.
Word up, word up. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations, analysts. Congratulations, hip hop. Congratulations, world. We have officially witnessed the greatest battle, the greatest commercial rap battle in hip hop history. A clash of two titans, kings, rap kings, sitting on top of the throne. It was a battle of skill. It was a battle of imagination. And as far as I can tell, the battle is over. If you're just catching up on Friday night, Drake released Family Matters. 30 minutes after that, Kendrick releases Meet the Grams, stomping on Family Matters' opportunity to go viral, sucking all the oxygen out of that moment. And then Saturday night, Kendrick released Not Like Us. Incredible track. We covered all that in the Not Like Us reaction. Check it out if you missed it. And then Sunday night, Drake puts out The Heart Part 6, which he had to. Not Like Us went viral this weekend. There's footage everywhere of people in clubs, at festivals, reacting to this song, chanting to it, stepping to it, certified lover boy, certified pedophile. That song is officially out of here. That song is officially out of here. It's actually gone. People across the country have been playing Not Like Us all weekend. There's footage of festivals in Buffalo, which is 20 minutes from Canada, crowd going crazy. There's footage of clubs in Atlanta, crowds going crazy. There's footage of parties in LA, of course, going crazy. There's memes of dogs shaking their head. Not like us. They not like us. They not like us. It's hypnotic. That song was flying this weekend. That song is a top 5 song at least. It's possible that song tops the charts. Let's put this all in order now. Euphoria this week has a very real shot at being the #1 song in America. It'll probably be the #1 song in America by the end of this week. Like that, #1 song in America for 3 weeks. And now Not Like Us, currently right now, is the #1 song in the Apple Music store. In the Apple Music store, on the part of Apple Music where people buy songs. The $1.29 song is currently #1 in the Apple Music store. That's 3 hit records, all going at Drake, questioning his culture card, questioning his past, his dealings or arguably, allegedly, overappreciation of underage women. They Not Like Us. That's 3 songs. Drake had to drop. He had to drop something else before Monday morning, before this waterfall of water cooler talk where everyone's talking about this. And he did, which was good. Last night he dropped The Heart Part 6. Let's start with the good. First off, Drake's wordplay is amazing. He's a fantastic rapper. Fantastic rapper. He's always been. That's why he's got 13 #1 hits. That's why he collabs so well with so many other artists. 13 #1 hits. Check this out. Check this out. Listen to the rhyme scheme on this part. Like the way he extends this rhyme, the way he extends this rhyme. It's really dope. Check this out. I am a war general, seasoned in preparation. My jacket is covered in medals, honor, and decoration. You waited for this moment, overcome with desperation. He's talking to Kendrick. We plotted for a week, then fed you the information. He is flipping the idea that Kendrick put out there that he had a mole in OVO's camp, which is why he was able to stomp on Family Matters so quickly. If we get into the cover arts, there's personal items of Drake's on the cover arts for each song. He talks about how OVO might be working for him on 616 in LA. Drake is taking the angle of flipping that narrative We plotted for a week, and then we fed you the information. A daughter that's 11 years old, I bet he takes it. We thought about giving a fake name or destination. But you so thirsty, you're not concerned with investigation. Instead, you an advantage studio. It's a celebration. You gotta learn to fact check things and be less impatient. Your fans are rejoicing, thinking this is my expiration. Even the picture you used, the jokes and the medication, the Maybach glove and the drug he uses for less inflation. Master manipulator, you bit on the speculation. Kendrick calls Drake a master manipulator on Meet the Grams. Drake is bringing that back. You dumb and reactive nigga, I'm petty with dedication. What about the bones we dug up in that excavation? And why isn't Whitney denying all of the allegations? I mean, that rhyme scheme alone, that runs. That's gotta be 16 bars, 24 bars possibly of this rhyme scheme. It's beautifully done. I mean, Drake is a phenomenal rapper. We saw that on Push-Ups. Funny songs spraying at everyone like Canadian Rambo, wrecking shop like Wolverine. Funny as hell, so quotable. We saw that on Tailor-Made Freestyle. Brilliant song. Brilliant song. Pioneering in concept and execution. I love that. That's one of my favorite tracks in here. I think that's one of the most creative songs we've seen in this battle. I think it's a creative use of AI. I think it added a lot to the conversation. We saw that on Family Matters. Third verse of Family Matters is fire to me. Fire to me. Especially how he opens it. Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. I love that. I love that. And now this rhyme scheme, the wordplay, and beating Kendrick over the head with the fact that actually I was the one that fed you the information and you ran with it like a dummy. I played you. Not about angle. Now, in the Not Like Us reaction video, I made a couple of suggestions on why I thought Family Matters missed the mark. The most powerful part of Family Matters, again, is that last 90 seconds where he's getting at Kendrick. Where he's really getting at Kendrick, making accusations that he's abused his partner Whitney. That, to me, is the strongest part of that song. I thought that he should have extrapolated on that, made that the whole 7 minutes, connected it to, some of the molestation things that Kendrick Lamar has talked about on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I thought that would have been a better angle to go at. On this track right here, Drake actually does that. He actually does that on this song. On the Heart Part 6, he does that. Check this out. My mom came over today and I was like, mother I, mother I, mother I. There's a song on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers called Mother I Sober. Drake is playing off of that. Mother I, mother I. Ah, wait a second. That's the one record where you said you got molested. Where you say you got molested. Keep that in mind. Ah, fuck me, I just made the connection. This is about to get so depressing. This is trauma from your own confessions. This when your father leave you home alone with no protection, so neglected. That's why these pedophile raps is shit you so obsessed with. It's so excessive. They acting like it's so aggressive, but you just never known affection. I don't want to dish you anymore. This really got me second guessing. Touch My Body by Mariah Carey play, you probably start reflecting. Again, he's leaning into the thing that I said he should do, but he misses the mark again, and here's why. On that song, Mother I Sober, we talked about this in the Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers review, which is on this channel. Check that out if you missed it. But on that song, when he's talking about being molested, he's talking about how his family members, his mom particularly, kept asking him if his cousin was touching him. And Kendrick always said no. The twist to the song, though, is that Kendrick says no all the time. He says he's telling the truth. He really wasn't molested. But his mom was asking so intently, so consistently, because she was the one who was actually molested. So here's what Drake says. Drake says, ah, wait a second. That's the one record where you say you got molested. That's not what he says. On the song, Kendrick Lee actually says, family ties, they accused my cousin. Did he touch you, Kendrick? Never lied, but no one believed me when I said he didn't. That is the thing. So again, Drake misses the mark. He's in the same neighborhood. He pulls up to the wrong house. And he's making the wrong point. He connects that to downplaying his pedo allegations. My thought was that at this point, Drake needs to do as much as he can to humanize himself, to be a person, to be reflective, to add some gravitas to how people view him. He needs to bring his world and Kendrick's world closer. I thought he should extrapolate on those things at the end of Family Matters, but more so in an Eminem Yellow Brick Road type fashion. Minus the part where Eminem calls black people racist. Clearly stay away from that. But tell Drake's story. He should tell his story. Growing up, how he really grew up in Canada. What it was like feeling like an outsider. What it was like not having his father present in his life. Boo-hoo, sad story, Black American dad story. Lean into that. Talk about how he struggled to fit in and how he had to overcome that and how that is still something he struggles with. Make it relatable to so many people who feel very similar to that exact sentiment. And then point out how that's why I understand where you're coming from, Kendrick. You're a little man syndrome, Napoleon complex. It makes it easy to be jealous of people from a different stature when you grow up in a home where you have people in your family who've been molested or the traumas you've seen. And then flip that. Lean into it that way. Make himself a person, bring their worlds together, and then say that's what this is all about. You've always wanted so much more in life, and now you got it, and you don't know how to handle it. So you're coming at me, who represents everything that you think you hate about life. That's what I wanted him to do. I know it's a very thin slice. It's a very, very small target to hit. Truthfully, I didn't think Drake had the imagination to do it. Clearly, he doesn't. I wanted him to do that. Not misinterpret the Kendrick song and use it to defend your own pedophile allegations, which is how Drake uses that. He says, I never been with no one underage, but now I understand why this the angle that you really mess with. Just for clarity, I feel disgusted, I'm too respected. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I'd have been arrested. I'm way too famous for this shit you just suggested. Come on, man. Everybody knows people who are criminals or commit crimes on a regular basis who aren't arrested. Just because someone commits crimes doesn't mean they actually get arrested for them. That's basically Drake's defense. If I was fucking young girls, I promise I would have been arrested. I'm way too famous for this shit you just suggested. Bill Cosby's pretty damn famous. R. Kelly, he did stadiums. That's a lot of fame. I'm not sure this is the best angle for Drake to take that. It leaves more questions than answers to me. But I'm glad he said something. I mean, They Not Like Us is rocking all across the country right now. It's #1 on iTunes Store right now. He had to get something out. I'm glad he said something. You can't let this stuff linger. Your response has to be out in the air. He did that. That's a good thing. Now, the other part of this is that Drake doubles down on the allegations that Kendrick has abused Whitney and that Dave Free is actually the father of one of Kendrick's kids. It's even the cover art is a screenshot of Dave leaving a heart emoji, a black heart emoji, and the hand sign heart emoji on a post by Whitney. That's the screenshot to the song. That's the cover art to the song. By doubling down on the Dave Free part, it just gives me more questions than answers. Let's say Dave Free really is the father of one of Kendrick's children. Well, why wouldn't Dave want to be the father? All right, let's say he doesn't want to be the father. Why isn't Kendrick getting props for being the father that stepped up? Is this really a diss on Dave and Whitney for being terrible and Kendrick having terrible people around him? All right, well, let's say these two are still business partners. They still work together. If it was a problem and they got past it, shouldn't they both get props for working past something as crazy as that? I don't have the answers to these questions, and that's the lingering feeling that I have when I listen to this track. It provides more questions than answers, especially since the strongest angle that Drake takes on this track, the strongest angle that he takes, is flipping the idea that Kendrick put out there that he has a mole in OVO's camp who's been feeding them information, which is why they've been so ahead of Drake the whole battle, with the cover art, with talking about allegedly there being another child, by dropping Meet the Grams right on top of Family Matters. Drake makes it seem like all of that was planted. That's the strongest angle here. I don't believe it, but I think that that is a very strong angle to take because it plants seeds of doubt again that keeps this conversation going, that keeps the debate going amongst fans. But here's what Drake says. The Pulitzer Prize winner is definitely spiraling. I got your fucking lines tapped. I swear that I'm dialed in. First, I was a rat, so where's the proof of the trial then? Where's the paperwork or the cabinet it's filed in? 1090 Jake would have taken all the walls down. The streets would have had me hiding out in a small town. My Montreal connects stand up, not fall down. The ones you're getting your stories from, they're all clowns. All right, you know, he's basically saying this entire time, I actually planted all of the things that you use. I planted my own medication. I planted my shirt. I planted my Maybach gloves. I planted this evidence that I have another kid out there, a story that's out there. I did all of that. I planted all this information so that you would look dumb and make songs, multiple songs now, that'll probably end up number one, two of which will probably end up number one, Euphoria and Not Like That. I planted all that stuff so you would be dumb and share it with your millions of fans and followers all across the world. And then at the end, they'd be like, ha ha. I guess, I don't know, man. I guess, I'm with it. It's a good angle. It plants seeds of doubt to have this debate going. And by the way, Drake did all of that and didn't record any of it. He didn't take a picture with the mole. He didn't say who the child actor really is. You can go find her on this other thing. He didn't do that. He's just saying, no, actually, you think you got me, I got you. Like, this feels like the new version of I got hacked. They hacked my account. Like when people put their nudes out there and then they're like, I got hacked. That's what this feels like. This feels to me like, I got hacked. It's all in the aftermath of what has transpired over the past few weeks, the greatest rap battle of all time. And he's just, and conveniently, he's like, you thought you got me, but I really got you. I guess, man. But again, it leaves more questions than answers to me. Again, the line is, we plotted for a week and fed false information. Is that what you did? Or is it the other line where you say, the ones you're getting your stories from, they're all clowns? So did you feed the false information to the clowns? And then, I don't know, man. I don't know. Are they clowns? I don't know. I can't call it. But that's the strongest angle. It's the strongest way to add seeds of doubt as to everything Kendrick is saying. I would want that too. I would not want people out here thinking the things that came out of this battle were true on either side of this battle. I wouldn't want people thinking I was beating my wife or my partner if I was Kendrick. And I definitely wouldn't want any of the things that are coming out about Drake. I wouldn't want that to stick. So it's a good angle. And I think it's another reason why I think this is a great closing salvo. Let's stop right here before the people who really tap wires tap into what they're hearing. Nobody's trying to go to jail. But think about this. If I'm Drake, the last thing I want to see is another Kendrick Lamar cover art. That's why I think this is a great angle. Just say that it's not true while waving the white flag. That's why I think this is a white flag. Because I wouldn't want to see another piece of Kendrick Lamar cover art. Well, Drake simply said it's not true and he doesn't have proof. But what if Kendrick does have proof? What if the next cover art is court papers or testimony? Drake does, he already has police reports out there of him corroborating with authorities after he was robbed. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but he has stuff that's out there. I put it in the How to Beat Drake in a Rap Beef episode. That's out there. What if the allegations that there's another child are actually true and Kendrick does have child support payment receipts, a birth certificate? Just imagine. I wouldn't want that out there. I wouldn't want that at all. That's another reason why this feels like a white flag to me. That's why I think that whatever main war battle we're in, this is the end of it. Drake probably goes back to getting his pen on and penning hit records and maybe throw some subs here and there. Kendrick might do the same. I think Kendrick will probably be louder about taking Drake down. Just like Nas was very loud about taking down Jay-Z in the aftermath, that battle went on longer than just Ether and Super Ugly and Takeover. But it was quieter, it was muted, it wasn't the main event. I think that's where we are in this now. Now, to me, the most interesting part of all of this has always been the culture angle. That's what I talk about in Drake Deserves to Smoke. That's what I talk about in the Not Like Us reaction video. The culture angle of all of this has been what's most interesting for me. Meet the Grams, to me, Meet the Grams, that song is about how quickly it stomps on family matters, how it sucks the oxygen out of the conversation around that song and makes it so that it never gets a chance to reach virality in a way that is dominating people's thoughts. That to me is the story. That to me, that song is scathing if he's just talking to his dad, he's just talking to his son, he's just talking to his mom, and he's just talking to Drake. That to me would have still been enough to win that round. It didn't even need the verse with the allegations, right? That's what that story is. The culture part of all of this to me is what's most compelling. And that brings me back to that military bar that Drake says on this song, on The Heart Part 6. That military bar. He says, my jacket is covered in medals, honor, and decoration. My jacket is covered in medals, honor, and decoration. That sounds like something a colonizer would say. That sounds like a very colonizer perspective. It does. Outside of that line, Drake stays completely away from the culture stuff, which is good. He should have. He is not good at that part. Kendrick's out here saying, I don't like the way you say nigga. Some shit's just cringeworthy. It ain't even got to be deep, I guess. Kendrick's coming at Drake with lines like that, and on Family Matters, Drake starts talking about slaves. Kendrick's out here saying, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more. And the beginning of Family Matters is Drake's mom saying, hey, Drake, maybe you shouldn't say that word anymore. And Drake's like, nigga, I said it, I know that you're mad. He's like stepping on his mom at that point. Not all cultures are the same. But in black culture, foundational black American culture, what moms say goes. If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. When mom says chill out, you chill out. Ask Jay-Z. In Jay-Z's battle with Nas, Jay-Z apologized. And when he apologized, he said his mom said he went too far, so he apologized. Not every culture is the same. Again, But this is, Drake's mom said don't use the word, and here comes Drake. Sorry, Mom. I gotta do what I gotta do, I guess, at best. Not every culture is the same. And outside of that, what stuck out to me, outside of that moment with the medals, honors, and decorations, sounding like something a colonizer would actually say, a very colonizer perspective, he stays away from it completely. He doesn't address any of the Atlanta stuff. He doesn't address Kendrick's accusations that he needed to stand next to all these titans to even be where he is. People talk a lot about the Drake stimulus package. Drake's been so successful for so long that it seems like he's the one bringing everyone else up. They don't necessarily think about Rap a Lot, Young Money, Cash Money, Wayne associations. It doesn't immediately come to mind that none of these people went to Canada to go get their music careers together. Drake doesn't address any of that. And I think that's a good thing. He should stay completely away from that. He's not good at that. Because that is the thing that's going to resonate loudly every time someone is somewhere chanting, they not like us, they not like us, they not like us. And that's why I feel like this is a white flag moment. The Heart Part 6 feels like a press release. Hey, everybody, I'm not a pedophile. Gotta get that out there. Gotta get that out there. And it plants just enough seeds of doubt into Kendrick's Shakespearean shakedown to keep this debate going on for years to come, to keep his fans feeling like there may be another round, that everything they just heard and experienced actually wasn't true, to keep both sides talking about the greatest rap battle in hip-hop history forever. And that part is amazing. We all witnessed history. We should all marvel at the music that came out of this, because both these artists were at their best at what they do, and we got to see them head to head. What a time to be alive. It's all happening.
Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip-hop, from trip-hop to yes, y'all, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunte is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.